All right. Okay. Hey, I was gonna ask you something. Oh yeah, hold on. If you can speak in a different accent, what would it be?
Just one accent?
Well, okay, fine. What would be your top 3, or however you feel? No, don't give me like 5.
Okay, well, first one for sure is going to be African. All right, African, like it just for some reason, like I mean, I'm not talking about South African. I'm talking about like Kenyan and like
bunch of click clacks.
No, like why are you running? Why are you running? Like that, you know, like that African type of thing. And then like my second choice would probably be Indian, like dot not feather. Just because, you know, I feel like with those 2 accents, you could probably get away with a lot of shit. Like, you know, so my skin tone, I look like almost any race in the fucking world, right? Except for like
white.
Except for like straight off the boat African, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, if I got to you know the United States and I did like some illegal shit and I just spoke with like a really heavy accent of one of those 2, then I think I could probably get away with whatever I was doing, as long as it wasn't like murdering someone. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? But,
what would your accent sound like? You already did
what? Oh, okay. It'd be like,
what would your Indian accent be?
How'd I do the Indian accent?
Don't say thank you, come again.
Thank you, come again.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah. I don't know. And that's the thing. That's why I wish I could do it. Because it's just like it's really bad. It's like
you just need to start answering as many spam calls and start learning. Hello, my name is Sam. I'm here to tell you I need your 4 last numbers of your social security.
My name is Austin.
Okay, last 4 number security. And I'm like, oh shit, that sounded pretty close.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good, yeah.
How's that, Sam? I don't know what you're doing, sir. I'm sounding like you. You little not cow eater.
Well, what about you? What kind of accents?
I don't know why, but like New York and
a New Yorkian.
You're like, how's it going? My name is Cisco. I'm from the Bronx, New York. It's a great time to be here.
That's fair.
I don't know why. I just really dig it.
What about Southern accents? I forgot about Southern accents.
No, honestly, it would be between like, New York, we're here. New York is a great time. Sky buildings. I got my buddy's Italiano pizzeria. Good shit all the time. I swear to God, you like it a lot. Calzones and mozzarella's. It's great. You're just New York. It's the best. Canadian accent in it.
Canadian accent.
Hey, how are you? How you doing there, Paul? Huh? You're doing pretty good, huh? Me too. The other day, you know, I was walking down the street, you know, and this cow came up to me. He fucking stuck his tongue out and tried to lick me. I swear to God, is fucking someone rubbing sandpaper on my fucking cheek. Literally, all the hairs off my fucking side of my fucking cheek were all gone. I swear to God, I went home that day and I shaved it all off.
Was that like from that show?
Well, they're Canadian.
Yeah, but was that from the show?
That's where I learned it. I
Did you just make that up right now? Or?
Oh yeah, I just made that up right now.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
Oh thanks.
That's a pretty good skit.
Yeah.
Talking about cows licking your face.
Yeah, there's fucking. It's crazy, man. You know. Fuck yeah. How are you? Hi, everybody.
Hi. My mic turned off.
I finally turned on. I was trying to tap it, but my fingers are working off. Hey, everybody. This is About an Hour with Cisco
and Josh,
where we give you your news recap of what happened this week in local and nation news. For those that don't know, we're based out of Arizona, so when we mean local, that's what we mean.
Yes.
So, God, I get so awkward when I do these. All right. Well, we're at 12. Are we at 12?
12.
This is episode 12.
This is episode 12. Yeah. This is the dirty dozen right here.
Yeah. And it's still dirty because it's not professionally done. All right. So we're gonna get into it because we got a big heavy one towards the end.
Oh yeah.
So Ray Liotta has passed away. So Ray Liotta was a legendary character actor known for his career-defining performance in the crime classic Goodfellas, which is the only thing I know him by. You pretty.
He was also in Day to Remember and Wild Hogs.
Never seen those. Moving on.
Okay.
Died in his sleep on Wednesday night while filming a movie in the Dominican Republic. He was 67.
He probably got malaria.
Are all these people dying at 67? Didn't Bob Saget die at that age? And Gilbert Gottfried?
I think they died in their 60s. I'm not sure about 67.
I don't know what the hell's going on. So he was known for his icy blue eyes and tough guy persona. The New Jersey-born actor was renowned for his role in the 1990 Martin Scorsese flick Goodfellas, where he played mob rat Henry Hill, alongside co-stars Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci. So there's that.
Yeah.
You seem like you followed his work.
I just know that he's been in several good movies.
I seen good.
I mean, as far as like prolific is concerned, not really up there, but he is definitely known for Goodfellas. But so is.
Have you seen Goodfellas?
Yeah, I've definitely seen Goodfellas.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Goodfellas is probably like, if not, it might be like the third or the fourth best gangster-esque movie.
It's a good movie.
There's obviously like The Godfather and other ones, but
what's the one with? It doesn't have Ray Liotta in it, but it has like Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci. I think Don Rickles is in it too.
I don't know who Don Rickles is. I've heard of the name.
He's a comedian. He passed away. Is it Casino?
Well, yeah, Joe Pesci was in Casino. That was actually where he got his a big name because he was like a really like bloodthirsty.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one where Joe Pesci just goes off the rockers and kills everybody.
Yeah,
you fucking Jew! I fucking kill you! You fucking shit! Yeah.
He starts stabbing people.
I'm Joe. I don't know what Robert De Niro's character was naming that.
Yeah.
Oh, the car blew up on me. Oh.
Robert De Niro's got to be like 80 now or something. Like, he's really old.
He takes all these... Do you know why he takes all these roles lately? Like, some
Is he like
movies
broke or something?
No, he's going... I think he has to pay off some divorce bullshit.
Oh, shit.
So it feels like whoever gives him money for anything, he's like, I guess I'll take it.
Sounds like Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Well... Hey, baby girl, let's make a movie. You and I. Where the end we... 3/4 go to our fucking bitches. I guess. Moving on. Donna, dude looks like a lady. So Steven Tyler has checked himself after a drug relapse.
Checked himself what?
Into rehab.
Oh, rehab, okay.
Pretty much Steven Tyler has relapsed and voluntarily checked into rehab. His Aerosmith bandmates revealed. So, quote... As many of you know, our beloved brother Steven has worked on his sobriety for many years, the band wrote of the singer, 74, in a joint statement on Tuesday. Here's another quote. So, after foot surgery to prepare for the stage and the necessity of pain management during the process, he had recently relapsed and voluntarily entered a treatment program to concentrate on his health and recovery. The announcement went on to read. Pretty much the statement concluded by sharing Aerosmith's plan to cancel the first set of their Las Vegas residency.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks. Dates in June. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. You're not proud of me, you fucking liar. You're just joking. Jesus. I'm on one. Just kidding. So the decision will allow Tyler to focus on his well-being instead. Joe Perry, Tom Hamilton, Joey Kramer, Brad Whitford wrote. So they also said we will continue our 2022 dates starting in September. And we'll let you know any further updates as soon as we can. I do this in here, but Joe Perry's 71, Hamilton's 70, Kramer's 71, and Whitford is 70.
How old's Tyler?
72 I think is what I just said. 74. So he's the oldest one out of everybody.
So he's just constantly doing drugs and...
Well, no. Well, we'll get to that. But pretty much... So they helped Tyler pursue sobriety with a 1988 intervention.
So he'd been sober for 40 years?
So, if you know the history of Aerosmith, because I'm a huge rock junkie, but Joe Perry and Steven Tyler were known as the Toxic Twins. So, obviously, from my understanding, everybody did drugs, you know.
Yeah.
If you're a rock star.
Yeah, exactly.
But Joe Perry and Steven Tyler were known as, like, the Toxic Twins, because those guys were just so strung out on everything and anything. But I guess Steven Tyler was always the one that couldn't control it. So I guess they did an intervention for him in 1988. He became sober for like a good chance, but it seems like this surgery kind of made him relapse back to popping
because
pills.
the pain pills. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, so that's the deal. So I hope he gets better. I mean, they've been promoting the residency like a shitload. So hopefully they get back on track.
Ozzy Osbourne, does he still do things?
He's been clean as far as I know. But he's been under the radar because he has that shaking disease.
Parkinson's?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. He's still alive?
He's still alive. But he couldn't... the U.S. didn't have enough to figure out what he had or control what he has.
So he went to a different
country?
country?
Word was they were going to go to Sweden or somewhere, or the Netherlands. And then after that, the big... Ozzy cheated on me. Oh, Sharon.
Sharon!
I don't know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
So, but it sounds like he's going to go back on tour, which is kind of like, okay, I guess. I've seen him.
I remember you said that you went to go see, was it Kiss? Like a couple years ago? And in Arizona. And he was like trying to sing and he was like running across the stage. He was all out of breath. And you're like, oh man, that's so depressing. Was it Gene Simmons?
No. Kiss is always when I go to show. It was,
someone was running across the stage and they were like 60 years old. And you're just like,
I know.
Oh my God.
So, Ozzy impressed me because when they did Black Sabbath, he'd rejoin with the guys from Black Sabbath. I was just like, he's just going to stand there and like hold the mic, how you kind of see him, and like maybe throw a bucket of water on him and go, singing all that shit. But no, motherfucker was like leapfrogging and like running back. I mean, like a hunchback running, but grabbing like a bucket and throwing it into the crowd. Like he fucking like, I was impressed. But the one you're talking about is, it was Motley Crue.
Oh, okay.
And it was Vince Neil.
Okay.
And I saw them when they came with Kiss like in 2012, and I was like, wow, this is really good. And then they did the final tour. And I'm just like, well, I gotta go fucking see him because Kiss and fucking Motley Crue are my first band live. You know, coming from a kid born in the 90s.
WWE, man!
Seen them in the 2000s, you know. So, but anywho. But yeah, he would like, it's just like, and he would... I mean, like, it was there.
Like, he was trying.
Like, it was there, but, like, you always hear about, like, the shitty when he came with Kiss the first time I saw them, it was on point. All the words were there, and I kept seeing, like, videos of him, like, out of breath and, like, just, like, mushing up words, like, and it's, you know, instead of, shout at the devil! Shout! You know, it's and I was just like,
he just can't do it no more.
I'm like, I'm gonna take this moment in, and it's still a good show, but it was like,
no,
I didn't cover my ears, no, but there was like little snippets that made you kind of go like, oh, that looks like those critics. Those look like the critics, you know, from YouTube posts, you know, like, ugh.
Like, eesh.
And I went to see Aerosmith too, like years back, not long ago, with my sister. They still had it.
Yeah.
Oh, they still fucking had it. They had a hell of a show. Fucking Steven Tyler and all those guys. The only thing I didn't like about this show when I went to see him, and if you're listening, I highly doubt, they didn't do a fucking an encore. I've been to so many concerts, and they always, you know, like, thank you, good night. And
were they the headliners or something?
They were. So it was.
Was it the only?
In Living Color? Is that the name of the band?
Never heard of them.
Yeah, you have.
No, I've heard of the.
In Living Color's the TV show. No, I'm talking about the people that sing Cult of Personality.
You're the
like
rock
Mussolini.
Buff. Yeah, you're the rock buff.
And Kennedy, I'm a cult of personality.
Oh,
I know your anger. I know your dream.
I like Jimmy Dean. Sausage.
So
yeah, I know you're talking. I know the song.
They opened for Aerosmith.
Okay.
Aerosmith came on. and did Sweet Emotions, closed it out, and then the lights turned on, and that was it. And then we were like, there's no encore?
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, it was going to be like, thank you, good night. And then the lights still stay dim, and Aerosmith. And then, some other fucking song.
I guess we gotta do one more.
Yeah, no, but it was none of that. And we were like, oh, okay. I guess they're kicking us out early.
Right.
All right. But, wish Steve and Tyler all the best.
Yeah.
Because if you're still rocking at 70, pretty impressive.
True.
All right, moving on.
Back to local news
I was
now.
say we got local news now. A man in custody after discovery of 1,000+ catalytic converters in Phoenix storage unit.
So if you ever woke up one day and noticed your fucking car wouldn't turn on and your entire goddamn catalytic converter was missing, it was probably this fucking guy.
Well, no.
Because 1,000 though? Like...
Well, your car would turn on, it just wouldn't sound right.
I mean...
Instead of sounding like... it'd be like...
Well, yeah, it's like a muffler almost,
Yeah. So, investigators reportedly began the investigation in January after receiving a tip about someone possibly storing a large number of catalytic converters near 36th and Washington Streets. Officers conducted surveillance on the suspect for several months, learning that he had apparently been doing hand-to-hand purchases of the parts. A search warrant was obtained, leading officers to more than 1,200 catalytic converters inside the storage unit. Police say a majority of the parts are believed to be stolen, with many having cuts indicating that they were removed from vehicles. Mm-hmm. Officials estimate the street value of the parts to be nearly $200,000. Police say the suspect, identified as 48-year-old Shelton Ford, was taken into custody. He was booked into jail on dozens of counts of unauthorized possessions of catalytic converters. The investigation is ongoing, and I guess it is unlawful for someone to purchase or sell used catalytic converters outside of a business or commercial car/repair sale, according to a recently passed law.
Yeah, so I feel like what he was probably trying to do, because it's not like you can just openly sell things like car parts and stuff like that.
I'm pretty sure there's some place like down on Broadway.
Well, I mean, no, but here's the thing, because like usually, like AutoZone, they'll sell you parts.
Yeah.
Right, but they're an authorized reseller.
Yeah.
But this guy sounds like he was hoarding thousands of catalytic converters.
Well, yeah, he was going to take them to the
for
junkyard.
Like different, or no,
the scrapyard.
He could have gotten them from the scrapyard and then said, "Oh, these are still good," and then tried to sell them to other people. You know what I'm saying?
No.
What do you mean, no?
So the way it works from my hearing is it's mostly junkies doing this, and druggies and tweakers. So,
but it's not like it's copper or like...
No, well, the catalytic converter has some kind of material where it's like, I don't know, I want to say it's in the thousands, but I could be wrong, per ounce. Some material, I don't know what the material is, but it's some like metallic material that's in the catalytic converter, and that's what they're going for. And if you accumulate a shitload, it's like so much money for an ounce. So that's what it comes down to. So they were cutting them off of cars, taking it into scrap yards, and obviously now, maybe it's a rinky-dink scrap yard, they'll, take anything.
Right, yeah.
And, here's some money, go get yourself meth. Meanwhile, we'll take the major benefit of it because we'll take the full price of the material.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know what the material is, but I know it's like I guess it's a big one. High price material. There's a couple materials in there. Because
I know like aluminum's a big one, copper's a big one. I mean, I don't know. Like you said, I don't know what's in a catalytic converter that would make it worth a lot.
There's four different like metals in there that I guess are worth something.
Well,
so here's the thing I don't understand.
Okay.
So going into this, if junkies are so good at doing this, why don't they just get jobs? You have an 8-hour deal where you're stealing shit to make money. Why don't you just get a job?
Well, a lot of drug addicts are sometimes felons, and they can't get a lot of jobs.
Get your shit together.
Sometimes they're living like off the grid because maybe there's like an arrest warrant out for them.
Well, what paying for taxes?
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't want to get an actual job because you're not law-abiding.
They drug test me.
Yeah, exactly. Quick question for you.
Sure, shoot.
You live in Buckeye.
Oh my god.
Okay.
You make it sound like there's a whole
No. That's nothing to do with it.
You're moving there
you just don't live close to like big buildings and shit. Like the biggest building in your area is that fire station, right?
Sure.
If you were to get like some notice in your mailbox saying like, "Hey, we're going to cut back your like street property, like that the road between the road and the fence, we're gonna cut that back by like 6 feet." Would you be upset?
I'd be fucking furious.
You'd be furious. Okay. And why is that though?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because it's happening in Gilbert right now. Nice segue.
Hey. But for real though, like, because if in Buckeye there's no HOA, so there's nothing really anyone could really say about. In your part of Buckeye.
Well, I mean, you still have like little fucking complainers. Like,
yeah, but they can't really do anything.
People have so many junk cars in the yard. Estrella's on the other side, you fucking cunt.
Yeah, if you
go live over there,
yeah,
you
exactly.
bitch.
Yeah, so
they have HOA for you.
This is still
I like land. Then shut your mouth.
Yeah, it's like this is still a dirt area. You know, horses are still allowed to be here.
Yeah.
You know, and
a lot of people move out there, and I think their idea is, I'm gonna sit on my balcony and go look at the sunset and drink coffee in the morning. And it's like,
drink my iced tea.
And it's mostly like you wake up in the morning, you make your coffee, you go out to the balcony, and the first thing you'll hear is, yeah. And then, you know,
why are so many goddamn farm animals out here? It's like, that's because you're on a farm area.
You're out in the rural area. Oh my god, the flies! Well, you know, you live right by a dairy. Was that there?
It's been there for decades.
It's been there for a while. I just moved here 3 months ago. I swear that wasn't there. Then how blind are you? Yeah, please move away. Did I answer your question?
No, you didn't. No, I was just trying to, because I would be upset too if they because you know there's supposed to be like a legal amount of room between your property and the road.
You waste so much money. You put in so much money to what you originally bought for someone to come in and cut off a chunk without giving you a dime.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
So for Gilbert, and this is something.
Did I answer your question? I feel like I'm not answering.
No. You said that you'd be upset. You'd be furious. Okay. That was the question. But in Gilbert. Well, just do the
okay. Well, in Gilbert, residents voiced concerns over Ocotillo Road expansion at town council meeting. So a handful of residents spoke at a Gilbert Town Council meeting Tuesday night to voice concerns over a street widening project. The town is moving forward with new plans to expand Ocotillo Road, but it would take away land from particular residents. Residents we spoke with said they only recently learned that the town of Gilbert is now planning a 65-foot expansion on each side instead of 55 feet. They also told Arizona Family, that's the news out here, they were only made aware of the amended changes when town officials came by a few weeks ago to canvass the area and put in stakes. Quote, to take 65 feet is wasteful and disrespectful. Slap in the face, said Terry, who was a resident. So Gilbert's officials sent Arizona Family a statement that said in part that the widening of the road is critical for infrastructure and the design will be complete later this year. They say the project team is meeting with property owners and the goal is to reach an agreement with everyone and that eminent domain is only used in the county if the county, town, and property owners are unable to reach an agreement. Meanwhile, residents we spoke with say their concerns are not being heard. Most of this impacted live in the unincorporated part of Maricopa County and doesn't get to vote on projects like this one, despite having a Gilbert address. So kind of like me in Buckeye. Yeah. We're not part of Buckeye, but we're more county than city.
Yeah.
Despite having a Gilbert address, many are calling for the council to go back to its original plan.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say about that. So
65 feet
on each side?
On each side.
That's 130 feet.
I mean, yeah.
What do they need that much room for? Like do you have like the rough location or like area of where this is going to happen? Because you said Ocotillo Road. That's like Queen Creek, Chandler Heights, isn't it?
Where is Ocotillo?
Because I'm pretty sure Ocotillo...
It was right by that horse farm I used to work at. So I want to say it's around there. Because that area was Gilbert.
Like Arizona 87?
No. It was... you're right. Ocotillo was a little bit north, huh?
Because the last time I was out there, there was a road, and there was like nothing to the right, and then there was like a bunch of shit to the left.
I want to say it was a 2-lane road.
Yeah, it was
right.
It was
or
like
1-lane road is what they call it.
It was 2 lanes.
Right.
It was 2-lane, median, and then 2-lane.
Well,
but how are they going to add 65 more feet on each side? Like, what is that for?
Because
are they trying to like build things? Or?
Yeah, they are. That area's been growing.
No, but like build things as in like on that 65 plot area. They're gonna.
Yeah. Well, they want to expand. They're trying to. They're catering. They keep catering to these fucking people that keep moving out here
and shit. Yeah.
And the houses. They're catering to corporate businesses. They're catering to home builders. And they can give 2 shits about someone who pretty much been in there for a while. Mm-hmm. And if grandfathering is a rule, I mean, doesn't that count? When they say, well, I've been grandfathered here.
I heard something interesting in there. It said eminent domain. I used to remember what that meant, but I don't remember anymore.
That is a thing. I don't remember it too well.
It's something like if you... it's going to become our property eventually, but because you're blocking it, then...
You're in our way of what we want to do, so we're going to fucking do it. But from my understanding, it could be that, or I might be thinking something different. But from my understanding is they have to pay you some amount. I think that's how it is. They can't just say, we're taking this. But again,
if you
we're
pay
the
for
government.
the property, then of course, like if it's your property, you own it. You have the deed to the land. They can't just say...
Well, we really want this road, so we're going to take a big chunk of your yard.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this no more. It's just so frustrating.
You know the shitty thing is, I feel like the area that you live in, even though it's pretty far out there, like Rainbow Valley type stuff,
it's going to grow.
Well, eventually, I think someone's going to try to buy the area that your houses are on. Like as like the acreage,
there's been talk,
and then try to sell it as like a HOA type of area.
There's a fucking cunt of a fucking realtor out there.
Yeah,
that's been trying to act like mayor. It wouldn't surprise me if she fucking got together with people like that.
Yeah.
No, but they got all these lands up for sale, empty lots. Desert land where people go trail ride and shit.
Yeah,
and those are up for sale. Not a lot has been happening. Yeah, and it's not going to be country homes where everybody gets an acre. It's going to be HOA bullshit.
Yeah, it's going to be the...
So which they're just going to complain. A year ago, someone complained like, can horse owners pick up their own horse shit on the road? And it was just like, get the fuck out. Get out. Get out. You don't belong here. Get out. Like, get out. If it bothers you...
I want to live here. I want to live here. It's like then go around the shit.
Yeah, go get a fucking bag, get your hand, put it in a plastic fucking Safeway bag, and scoop it up like that. Like you do dog shit if it bothers you that much.
Yeah, it's the thing about that is it's not like it's dogs where you can you're walking your dog and you pick up the little poop.
Yeah.
Horses shit. Like it's like a gallon of shit.
And what's gonna happen? It's gonna dry out, the wind's gonna blow, it's gonna land on a plant, and it's gonna benefit the plant.
Right.
Common sense. Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah.
So this happened down the road. Man arrested for hit and run. Death of a bicyclist. Buckeye police say. So police say Fernando Ramos was driving a pickup truck when he collided with a 16-year-old George Cooper, who was riding a bike. The wreck happened near Jackrabbit Trail and Beloit Road. No, that's not my address, but you can Google it. It's right by me. Deputies pulled over Ramos about 9 miles away and took him into custody. They say Ramos was not impaired, but was going about 60 miles per hour in a 45.
Do you have a picture of him or something?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
Records show he has a history of arrest and served time for counts, including DUI. So this is a very sad story, but everybody is laughing about the mugshot of this man.
Okay.
And so are we. Because remember, we're jokes first. We're here for the jokes.
Okay, let me see. This is Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah. He's so fat that his neck looks like...
Well, look at his ear, dude. Like his it looks like... you know what he looks like? You know what he looks like? He looks like a fucking frog that has like permanently inflamed
he looks like
jowls or something. because his ears, like it looks like his head's like a normal shape, and then it's like this.
It's
like
Jabba the Hutt.
It's like
Grimace from McDonald's.
Yeah, he looks like the purple nugget from McDonald's.
So everyone's been joking about that. We're just kind of like, don't post his mugshot, man, because this is just like.
Yeah, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it would be a medical condition, but no one has said anything. Everyone just keeps saying, "Look at Grimace."
Yeah.
And oh my God, Jabba the Hutt in person. Han Solo.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Man.
So everyone's been hearing about monkeypox.
Oh yeah.
And then try to make it sound like it's the next COVID. It's not, everybody. I'm gonna tell you why.
It's the next plague, or it's the next AIDS.
It's the next AIDS. So don't stick your dick in assholes. Yeah. So monkeypox likely spread by sex at two raves in Europe. So a leading advisor to the World Health Organization described the unprecedented outbreak of monkeypox in developed countries as a random event that appears to have been caused by sexual activity at two recent raves in Europe. Dr. David Heyman, who formerly headed WHO's emergency department, told the Associated Press that the leading theory to explain the spread of the disease was in sexual transmission at raves held in Spain and Belgium. Monkeypox has not previously triggered widespread outbreak beyond Africa, where it is endemic in animals. We know monkeypox can spread when there's close contact with the lesions of someone who is infected, and it looks like sexual contact has now amplified that transmission, said Heyman. That marks a significant departure from the disease's typical pattern of spread in Central and Western Africa, where people are mainly affected by animals, like wild rodents and primates, and outbreaks have not spilled across borders. So health officials say most of the known cases in Europe have been among men who have had sex with men, but anyone can be infected through close contact with a sick person, their clothing or bedsheets. Scientists say it will be difficult to disentangle whether the spread is being driven by sex or merely close contact.
Okay, well, I said that it was AIDS because
it's a sexually
transmitted. It's like an STD, but you can also get it by like if you have an open wound on your hand and you get close to someone who has monkeypox and they have an open wound on their hand, then it's a virally transmitted disease at that point.
Right.
So it's not just sex, but you can get it from sex.
Thank you, Dr. Josh.
Yeah. So
next is 5 tips on how to lose weight with Dr. Josh.
So it's probably going to be like a situation where people are like, okay, let's trace it back to this thing. And everyone who's been there needs to come to, the CDC to be quarantined and all that other shit. It probably won't be a big thing. I don't see it being a COVID, type of thing. I don't see it being even as big as AIDS or whatever. It sounds like it's probably just going to go away in like 2 months. What I'm going to say is...
Typical.
What I'm going to say is, though, is how did the people in Spain and Belgium get it in the first place?
In a rave.
No, but like, there's always like an origination.
Someone had to fuck a monkey.
Well, I don't know if it's from that because it said it was endemic in animals. They didn't specifically say monkeys.
Someone had to fuck some guy straight out of Africa who fucked a monkey.
So, well, yeah, I don't really know because like in like Middle East, there's like goat fuckers out there. It could be something like that. But I did hear, or actually this morning, that there was another case found in Colorado. So, like, I guess they could like track the spread of that, maybe. But if you've just don't be fucking around, sleep with random people
or monkeys.
Yeah, people that you don't trust. How about that?
Yeah, wear protection, you sickos.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. In general, I'm calling people sickos in general.
Right.
Not someone specific. Josh. Just kidding. So I'm going to read... I'm going to try to be as fast as I can, but I'm going to read just about this whole article because it kind of goes into detail what happened.
Okay.
The title is Indiana Pastor Admits Adultery. Alleged victim says she was just 16 years old.
Adultery? That's not adultery. That's fucking statutory rape.
You saw the video, right? Of the Indiana pastor.
Is it the one where like this girl gets on stage with this guy and she's like crying or whatever?
Yeah. So northern Indiana pastor stands accused of having sex with a woman for years, starting when she was just a teenager.
For years.
Pastor John Lowe II admitted to his congregation at New Life Christian Church and World Outreach in Warsaw on Sunday that he committed adultery nearly 20 years ago. Directly following his confession, a woman stepped forward to take the microphone and accused the pastor of taking her virginity on his office floor when she was just 16 years old. Lowe begins by saying, I committed adultery. It was nearly 20 years ago. It continued far too long. It involved one person, and there's been no other. I have no defense. I committed the adultery. He claimed he hadn't come forward with the confession all these years because he wanted to protect the victim and himself. He asked the congregation to forgive him for the deep wound he said he caused. To my wife and family who I deeply hurt, I have confessed my sin, and they have graciously forgiven me and expressed their love to me, he said. Lowe announced that he is stepping down from the ministry. After Lowe finished speaking, the congregation responding by giving him a standing ovation. These people are sick.
Yeah, I mean, this is Indiana.
Yeah, well.
In Indiana, I would say like Kentucky, Alabama, those types of places where like it's a deep red state.
I love God so much that I'm going to sin behind closed doors.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
And not going to tell anybody.
Right.
But I love God. I'm such a perfect God person. That's when, so after the standing ovation, that's when an unidentified woman, unidentified, thank you, took the microphone alongside a man who identified himself as her husband. The woman began. For 27 years, I lived in a prison. It was not 20 years. I lived in a prison of lies and pains, lying to protect the Lowe family. I thought I was a horrible person having suicidal thoughts, not realizing what had truly been done to me. She said her older brother had recently confronted her about an incident he witnessed when he was a teenager. She said he saw her in bed with their pastor with a t-shirt and underwear on. Quote, people knew but were too afraid to come forward, she said. I'm a prisoner no longer, she continued through the tears. I was just 16 when you took my virginity on your office floor. Do you remember that? I know you do. You did things to my teenage body that had never and should have never been done. You are not the victim here. The woman claimed that she tried to tell someone for years, but no one was willing to help her. Eventually, several people made their way to the stage, including Lowe, the woman's husband, then took the microphone to confront the pastor. It's not just adultery, it's another level when it's a teenager. And I would not let this man talk about my wife like that. It happened for 9 years. People have to be held accountable, he said. They can't just bamboozle people and say, I just committed adultery. It was far beyond adultery. The congregation then called for answers from Lowe, who responded, I told you. I committed adultery. I told you. It went on far too long. Lowe then went on to admit he had sex with the woman when she was a teenager. Several members of the congregation then came forward and surrounded Lowe while another man prayed. The New Life Christian Church and World Outreach released a statement following the pastor's confession of the women's allegations. So it goes on to say that. So
opinion time?
Yeah, so let's go into this now, because the others, they're we're so sorry for the events that happened at the church. Yeah. I'll let you go first.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say. And I'll try to be quick.
You saw the video, right?
Yeah, I saw the video.
Okay.
So, this is what I'm going to say. People in that church that clapped for that guy is going to keep going to that church. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to be like, oh yeah, because we're such God people, we're going to say that we forgive this person.
He's stepping down, though. He's not going to be there no more, but
still. They supported him for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
And they gave him a fucking standing ovation for raping a 16-year-old.
You know, yeah. I'll let you finish.
Yeah. So all those people are shitty. But they're going to keep going back to that church and keep supporting people from that church with no evidence of anything. And they're going to, I guess, not feel bad about anything that happened. And I don't think any of those people believed the girl. They were just kind of like, oh, is this a skit? They didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to say is that person, the minister, there is the thing called statute of limitations. And basically means that if you don't report a crime that's happened within a certain amount of time, it's different for every state, but you can't be held liable or accountable for it. So if this happened, I think it's 20 years. If this happened over 20 years ago, that might be the reason why he stepped forward, so that he couldn't get arrested for it.
Loopholes, churches. Man,
they're not stupid. He probably came forward with it because maybe he was feeling guilty about it for the last 20 years. Great. But now he can't get held accountable for it.
Well, he did it for 20 years.
Yeah, but,
Yeah, 26 or 7, whatever
so
she said.
If she was at least 36 at the time of that video, and she, that's how long it had happened for, then he's home free, basically. He's not going to be a minister anymore, but he's not going to be in jail for statutory rape for 15 years. You know what I'm saying? Or 10 to 15 years. That's my opinion on it. He's not an idiot, but he is a rapist and a pedophile. So I feel like he should just go away.
Here's my 2 cents on this.
Okay.
If you applaud a man for coming to confess like that, I don't know what the fuck goes on in your mind. You might as well go home and applaud murder or something. You know what I mean? If that's what you're like, oh my God, because of the grace of God, our pastor has confessed he did adultery. It's like, that's fucking sick, and this motherfucker should die. I don't know why you're applauding that.
I'm gonna tell you why, because I'm not sure if you are in church settings often or whatever, but Christians are told, ye who's not sin cast the first stone.
Forgive and forget. God apologize. Yeah, but I know. But the church basically brainwashes people to ignore actual crimes, and it's not a good thing at all. So I'm not defending this guy. I think he's sick for what he did and all that shit, and I'm not giving him props for admitting. I think it's great you admitted, but you're there should be something. You should really some law extent or something.
Yeah,
but. This is the part that I don't fucking get. If you are raped by the pastor, why are you there? Why would you go to the same...
go back?
Yeah, why would you go to the same church still with the man, seeing the man stand above you who pretty much raped, molested, whatever you want to call it?
Okay.
Why would you go back? It just doesn't add up. If it's so scarring and so horrible.
I have an opinion on that, actually. Okay. I think the pastor pulled a Kevin Hart.
What the fuck does that mean?
So, I think this was 5 years ago. Kevin Hart was approached, or not approached. He was kind of blackmailed into admitting that he had an affair on his wife, and then he ended up having a divorce, and then now he's remarried or something like that. So I think what happened is this girl tracked down the pastor, and said, approached him and said, hey, I know what you did to me. I'm gonna, tell your secret to people unless you admit the truth.
Oh, and he probably said, don't worry, I'll admit to it.
I'll do it next Sunday.
Well, if that's the case, then he tried to pull a loophole still. He tried to fucking do one under her because he said 20. Until she fucking ran up there and said, "No, bitch, 26."
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So I think what she said is, I remember every single detail. If you don't tell the truth, then I'm going to tell everyone else the truth, right after you do. So what probably ended up happening is she went to the church, and he was like, "Oh fuck, she's here. She's gonna do it."
Well, maybe he didn't even know.
No, I think he did know because, like I said, I don't think he's stupid. So he probably, did it, saying. In this last week, this happened, and now I'm gonna admit to my sins and not be a pastor anymore, and hopefully people forgive me? And then he gets off stage after getting a standing ovation, and then the girl that basically said I'm gonna report you.
Well, if you saw the
runs up on stage and says, "Nope, this bitch lied. It was 27 years. He didn't mention that I was 16 when he started, and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then you know, if you watch like towards the end of the video, everyone was kind of like, you know, looking around like, is anyone else thinking like
that thing was like a whole drama? Like if church was like that, like where my pastor or priest would like confess, that's I would go to church every weekend.
That's like real life Jerry Springer type of shit.
Yeah, like I would go every weekend. Like holy shit, I love God. This is great.
This is a good
This
team,
is great.
Bro.
Our priest is going to hell. This is great. Oh man, this makes me feel a whole lot better. All I did was steal a Snickers bar the other day from the gas station. Meanwhile, this guy's a pedophile. This is great.
Yeah, man.
That's
what I think happened.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But
so from one crazy church thing to another.
Oh, fun! Back to back.
Southern Baptist leaders release a secret accused abuser list.
Oh.
So, in response to an explosive investigation, top Southern Baptists have released a previously secret list of hundreds of pastors and other church-affiliated personnel accused of sexual abuse.
Oh my God.
The 205-page database was made public late Thursday. It includes more than 700 entries from cases that largely span from 2000 to 2019.
It's that 20-year thing, bro.
Yeah, and its existence became widely known Sunday when the independent firm Guidepost Solutions included in its bombshell report detailing how the Southern Baptist Convention's executive committee mishandled allegations of sex abuse, stonewalled numerous survivors, and prioritized protecting the SBC from liability. We can leave it at that.
So this is a Southern Baptist church.
Here's the deal. Yeah, so here's the deal. So I was raised Catholic. Yeah. I think you were too, right?
Somewhat, yeah.
Before you converted yourself to a Christian? Mm-hmm. Or went to a Christian church.
Yeah, denomination.
So, the Catholic church obviously gets so much crap from like priests and children and little boys.
Well, like even in like the recent years, though, they've had like constant there's this guy that was literally caught doing it,
but we always, I'm not in it. I believe in God. I don't go to church anymore. It's boring. All you do is stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, sit up, sit down, stand up, sit down.
Drink the blood.
Go get the wine. Yeah, go get the wine. Go get the fucking little token bread thing. Come back. Be on your knees. Stand up. Be on your knees again. Maybe like Our Father or whatever the fuck, and then latest news, church news, and then we have an event going on.
Easter Sunday.
Yeah, we got cookies outside, everybody, and now with this, the church is ended. The priest leaves, and then everybody leaves. Yeah.
Incense.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And so if you ever thought about being Catholic, there's your rundown about it. They're not.
I mean, every denomination has something that's like kind of weird about it. Like there's like gospel churches where they're like, hallelujah!
See, I would love to go to those. I would love to go to the black church because I'm like, oh my god!
It's 2.5 hours of standing, screaming, and singing.
Well, I've been to a concert,
and then
can't be that bad.
I don't like it. I don't like standing and being at church. Personally.
I hate the standing part. I love the sitting part.
Yeah. Well, but this is like watching whole not orchestras. What's choirs? Watching whole choirs stand up there and sing for like a half an hour.
Jesus.
It's like one song lasts so fucking long, dude. It's so annoying.
But what I'm trying to get at, coming back,
sorry about the
pulling it back in. No, it's just kind of like it's opening eyes, I guess. I mean, the church is losing people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Every year, it's clear as fuck. I think the Pope Francis is pushing for people to have kids, adopt kids instead of adopting pets. The church is just pushing for fucking kids and younger people to come in, whether it be for dirty reasons or not. But the idea is the next generation to supply them with money, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are kind of sick of it. And it's like, I think a lot of us have learned that to believe in God, you don't have to go to a fucking place every Sunday. You can believe in God and do your own prayers at home and all that stuff. And now we're beginning to see, I don't know, I guess all these people are getting exposed that preach the word of God, that, try to act like they're perfect.
Right.
Joel Osteen, you're next.
And it's like, yeah, right.
And,
no, literally. No.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no, I think it's sick, but they're getting revealed, and hopefully it continues, and...
Yeah, it's
we'll see what this life comes out to be in 40, 50 years when the church is not as big.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be exaggerating, but you know what I mean?
Well, that's actually a good point. Honestly, there's so much shit I can say about the Bible that would last an entire fucking episode.
No, you keep bitching that you want to do it.
No, it's not even that. It's just like,
hey Cisco, can we do an episode on the Bible? What is there to talk about?
It's so like,
I love God. I want to talk about Moses.
It's like a bunch of stuff about the Bible, about the New Testament into the the Old Testament into the New Testament, and like the reasons why we don't necessarily need any more blah blah is a bunch of shit.
Like smearing lamb blood on top of your door.
Yeah, like every time you sin, you have to kill a fucking baby calf or something, and it's like, bro.
Remember, if a bush is burning and it's talking to you, you're on shrooms.
Yeah, but anyways.
All right, so moving on to the. Well, I guess it's the main topic, and this is really hard because when I was looking at the Indiana pastor thing. Mm-hmm. I was just like, this is insane, but it was so frustrating to look more into it when everything was breaking news, Texas, breaking news. Mm-hmm. And this is a part where it's kind of rough because you're looking for shit to, I always say jokes first, news second.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard when we get these topics because... we have to. We tried. This is what we did. We said, let's be a news show.
Yeah, exactly. So it's important though to like give the opinion.
Yeah. So this is about the what happened in Texas, and if you haven't heard, God bless you because you must have a really rose-colored glasses happy life.
Yeah, basically.
But for the rest of us that learn about it. So, at least, I'll go into it. So, at least 21 people, including 19 children, were killed in a shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas. According to law enforcement officials, several others, both students and adults, are being treated for injuries. There is a timeline. I'm going to try to go at it the best I can. I wrote a lot. I didn't write a lot. I just copied a lot. So... the timeline goes, the shooter wrecked his grandmother's truck at 11:28 on Tuesday in the morning. He jumped out of the passenger seat with a long rifle and bag containing ammunition. He reportedly walked towards two witnesses at a funeral home across the street and began firing towards them. The gunman then continued walking to the school, climbed over the fence, entered the parking lot, and began shooting multiple times, it's already said. Most of the shooting happened in the first minutes. At 11:40 a.m., he entered the west side of the school through a door that, quote, may have been unlocked, end quote.
Or propped open or something.
But authorities say they are investigating that. He walked approximately 20 to 30 feet and made a right down the hall. Then he turned left and entered a classroom with doors open in the middle. Police said within 4 minutes, multiple police departments and only law enforcement in the area were called to assist. Tactical teams and negotiators were called and special equipment like body armor was requested. Police also said it's important to note that there was no school district officer that confronted the suspect. He was not confronted by anyone. Only witnesses from across the street saw him go inside the school. It was about 1 hour later from the initial entrance that the gunman was killed. In the meantime, students and teachers were evacuated from other parts of the school.
He was taken into custody, you said.
So, no, he got killed. So, I'm going to go through this timeline because it ended up being a Border Patrol agent shot him.
Oh. Okay.
So, at 11:27, exterior door at the school propped open by a teacher. 11:28, suspect vehicle crashed in a ditch by school. Teacher runs to room to retrieve phone. Door remains propped open. Two people from a nearby funeral home come to help, but see a man with a gun and backpack. The two people run back to the funeral home as the gunman shoots at them. They were not hit. 11:31. A Uvalde CISD school resource officer was off campus nearby when he heard gunshots outside the school. He drove over the school and actually drove past the shooter as the shooter was going into the school. 11:33, the shooter enters a classroom while shooting. 11:51, initially 3 Uvalde Police Department officers gathered outside the classroom, which was locked at that point. 12:03, as many as 19 officers, including UPD, Uvalde County deputies, and others, were gathered outside the classroom. Texas DPS said the officers believed the situation at that point had transitioned from an active shooter to a barricaded subject. The incident commander on scene determined they needed more equipment to breach the barricade, so they waited. At 12:15, Border Patrol tactical units and shields arrived. At 12:50, Border Patrol team breached the doorway with a key from the janitor and shot and killed the suspect.
Okay. And that was okay. So does it mention anything about the whole police not going into the building?
So later on, it goes on to it. But from my understanding,
because there's a bunch more.
There is a lot more. So the stuff that from what I remember, because I have a lot, but it feels like it's going to take too much time.
Right.
So I'll summarize the best I can.
Okay.
People were aware that he was there. Mm-hmm. They called the Uvalde police. The police was outside for 40 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes.
40 minutes. Yeah, 40 to 45 minutes. People showed up, say, get in there. They wouldn't.
Like the parents and shit.
Yeah, people around. There was I think I remember correctly, someone said, or I might have heard it wrong, they ended up arresting somebody because they pretty much said, get your ass in there type of deal. And
yeah,
said,
it was like I was like a parent or something like that.
So you
that was trying to like get past
You did look
them.
into it. Okay,
yeah,
good. So there was that. And then finally, Border Patrol came in and pretty much broke down the door.
I don't understand why Border Patrol did, but police didn't. That just seems really weird.
So here's the deal, and I was listening to a podcast, a different one. Mm-hmm. The way he talked about, I'll be straightforward. I listened to Ben Shapiro, and the way it said it was the protocol they did there was very old school. So the way it used to be, I guess back in the day, was your police would come in, surround the area, and then I don't know, SWAT or ICE or some
a different like
heavy tactical people would come in and they would finish the job.
And Border Patrol is just nearby.
And Border Patrol, I guess, their whatever unit came in and they did the job. Pretty much what the cops did there was very shitty because that was old protocol. The way it is now is no, you get in there and you stop as much disaster as you can before it gets there. Mm-hmm. So there's that. So,
I do have something to say about that, but keep going.
Okay, so there was that. The other thing was there was a child that survived. I didn't want to read what he had to say about the experience because it was just too fucking rough. I just think it would be too rough.
Yeah.
The boy acted dead in order to survive while the rest of his classmates were getting shot, which is smart on his part. It is.
Because if you kill a bunch of
children more to do that.
I mean, it's sad that that's a reality nowadays.
I just can't.
So it sounds like these were like 10 and 12-year-olds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And so there was that. The other thing was the husband of the teacher that got shot, like 2 days later, died as well of a heart attack.
No, it wasn't a heart attack. It was.
I thought it was.
It was broken heart syndrome.
Sure.
That's an actual thing.
Well, it sounds like a fairy tale thing.
No, I'm serious.
All right, I'll take your word on it. So I'll believe that. So there was that. So now their kids are somewhat orphaned. Obviously, some family member's going to take them in. Obviously, I would hope so.
But it's like 3 kids.
But just 3 or 4, I think. Yeah. So it comes down to that. So I'll let you speak, and then we're going to play the game that everybody in the media and everybody in the world talks about, where there's something horrible, then they go to something straight, completely different on how we should put in this law. But well, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. You know, this is really tragic, and their first thing is like
political.
Yeah, let's go into political and pass a law.
All right, so that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to start off with the whole police officer thing. So, you said that it wasn't like that was like old law or something like that to not go
old school protocol.
Yeah, old school protocol. So, that was like, you know, the Aurora shooting and the, you know, all the other school shootings that have taken place basically in the past 5 years. They've changed a lot of stuff, but here's the thing. for police officers, it's kind of a gray line. For police officers to say, I will put my life on the line to save other citizens because that's what their job is.
Serve and protect. But then have them make them go into a active shooter situation and put their life on the line. It's like, when do you say, oh, that's just suicide? Because it is their job, but then someone else is already shooting at them. So it's like you're just gonna run in there like an idiot. This isn't a video game. Well, no. I don't think that would be the idea. The idea is you would know what to do in situations like that.
That's the thing, though. It's like you're supposed to know what to do in that situation.
You know what I mean? Use the best of your abilities.
And like someone who has weapon training and tactical training should know that the best time to go into an active shooter situation would be when they're no longer shooting. Right. Like when they run out of ammo or when they're trapped somewhere. That's the best tactical time to go in. But if you're outside of the building and you're not aware of the situation inside of the building, then how are you going to say, oh, I know when to go in? Because they could just be looking at the front door, waiting for someone to come in and then start shooting, and then you die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you don't know. So in their eyes, tactically, it was better to wait. But in everyone else's eyes that were on site,
it was your job.
Yeah. So it's like, that's the gray line right there. It's like you can't really know who fucked up in that situation.
Well, here's
because and even they said that all the shooting happened the first minutes. Like the first couple minutes. It wouldn't have taken them very long to get to the first classroom and unload.
This is what I gotta say. And I heard a quote, and it kind of made sense, but we protect banks more than we protect kids.
Dude, we protect everything except for citizens.
And
like, seriously. Literally everything.
There's so many, like... How do I explain it? Like, there's so many things that kind of contradict themselves, but when it comes to this is true. We do protect, well, I don't, but the government or, whoever, citizens, whatever, they protect banks more than, kids. They protect government buildings more than protect schools, people, citizens, children, the next generation to vote for them and all that bullcrap they'll use. So I think it's pretty shitty when you kind of think about it. Now,
this is another thing I'm going to say about that too. Is they do protect everything. They protect laws more than they protect the actual children. And this is I'm not going to try to get super political here.
No.
But you have you simultaneously have a state that is going to protect the rights of an unborn fetus.
Oh my God!
Before you have the actual life of multiple students in a classroom. Okay, so it's like we like guns more than we like actual lives. And I'm not going to say that it's as easy as banning guns because I don't think you should do that, but you should have safeguards in place to protect children.
So here's
and instead they're like, no, we're going to focus on theoretical lives in the future. And it's like, but what about the fucking lives right now? What do you mean? That's bullshit.
So here's the deal. And how do I go from here? But what I'm trying to get at is I'm not trying to get at it. I think what I'm trying to say is you can't stop it. You can stop it. You can't stop it. You can say, let's get guns. Let's get gun laws. Let's get rid of guns. I'm going to tell you right now, this kid did everything by the book. So your laws don't work. There's states out there, California, Chicago, New York, that have real gun laws.
And they still have shootings.
And they have probably more shootings than what this incident did. So let's be honest. So it's not the gun laws. Now, background checks. You can say, well, if he had a background check, this kid didn't commit nothing. They're going to look into his juvenile record.
He was apparently a transgender.
I'll tell you right now, every article I've seen from the main big guys, nobody says that.
Okay.
That to me is an internet rumor. An innuendo.
Okay. All right.
I'll tell you, because I tried to look everywhere to see about that. What I can tell you is this guy had no male figures in his life. His dad was not in the picture. Obviously, we didn't know about grandma.
Oh yeah,
I mean, grandpa.
You didn't even mention grandma.
Yeah. So what he did is similar. What they're comparing this to is similar to Sandy Hook. So the guy from that situation shot his mom, then went to the school.
Yeah.
This piece of shit
shot his grandma.
pretty much shot his grandma. She's in critical condition.
No, she's dead.
No, she's well. She
died.
I heard she's in grave critical condition.
I heard she died 2 days later.
Okay. Well. Okay.
We'll have to look into that a little bit more, I guess. But.
Yeah. So that happened. Then decided to do that. The other thing also happened here is he went on the internet on some video game thing and told somebody, I believe from the UK or something,
that he's playing.
Hey, I'm gonna buy a gun, AR, and blah blah blah. And she's like, sure. And then he said, I'm gonna go shoot up a school. The two questions I have there is, you are, I think he was like what, 18?
So yeah, he was out of school. He was
18. So where do you come up with the money for an AR to buy two?
Grandma.
You buy one and you buy the other.
He bought 2 guns?
I think he had 2. From my understanding, he had 2, but I could be wrong. But my understanding was, where do you get the money? Because that's almost like $800,000. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't own one.
I mean, he could have been
an
working.
AR, AK, whatever they are.
He could have been working. There's plenty of ways to get money.
So what I'm trying to get at is, that's one that just didn't add up to me. The other thing is, he went and bought it. He did everything. He went to a government, a federal gun dealer. So you can't say nothing there where, like, gun laws.
Yeah.
Bottom line, it's not the gun, it's the person behind it. So let's say we do make gun laws and we do get rid of AKs and ARs and whatever you want to call those type of weapons. Okay, what happens if he goes in there with 2 clips of 9s? So is the news going to be happy about it the next day? We only lost 8 lives today. No, lives are still being lost. So what's the deal? You can't uninvent the gun. It's what it's going to have to come down to. You have to uninvent the gun, and that's not going to happen. It's been invented. It's been around for many years. The problem here is the person handling the weapon. Because, yeah, you can get rid of guns, but then you're going to get rid of knives. You're going to get rid of... you can always make some fucking backyard bomb.
It's the same argument for vehicles. For people who use vehicles to kill people. Like recently there was that parade, right? And there was someone who drove into a parade and like ran over several people. I think they may have died. He was arrested and charged for vehicle manslaughter on like 3 or 4 different counts, and he's in jail forever. And no one's talking about,
getting rid of
car
vehicle,
laws,
yeah.
Right? It's like, and then on top of that,
the government.
But in Texas, they recently rescinded like $200 million for mental health help.
So
from government help. So this could have been something that mental health stuff. Like if the kid wanted to go get that shit,
okay,
he could have gone and it would have been free and paid for, and then he wouldn't have shot up a building. So it has to do more with the person, like you said.
I don't think
Texas doesn't seem to be doing anything.
I don't think it's okay.
Okay.
Yes, it's a mental health thing because obviously this guy was not right in the head. You'll hear about it. You read about it. He was just going off the rockers. He had a good friend of his who said, "What the fuck happened to your face?" He said, "My cat scratched me." Ended up he was cutting his fucking face up with a knife or a blade.
My God.
And then just ended up telling the friend, "I just like doing it." So it's not really a go get a mental health check because let's say you do go buy the gun at the time and you're mentally okay, but something flipped and as time goes by, you're not. What I do think we really need to take care of and start fucking doing is we need to... you can't get rid of crazy in this world. Bottom line. You just can't. That's something we're going to be stuck with. We're going to be stuck with these people. Mm-hmm. But what you can do is call them out on red flags. Report red flags. There were so many red flags.
Yeah.
And it never got reported. It never got taken. Now the woman he messaged online on the video game thing, I get it. People are like, "Oh, she should have reported it." You're online. You're talking to someone you don't know who the fuck it is.
You're not even in the same country.
You're not even in the same country, and he says, "I'm gonna do this," and you're like, "Okay, whatever, weirdo."
Yeah, it's like
block, move on.
Yeah.
That could have been a red flag. She could have reported. She could have done this. The friend could have said something, but it's one of those. I think he's just bullshitting, or I highly doubt he would do that. But it's one of those, it's going to come down to, you got to report these red flags, and it's going to come down to a mental analysis or evaluation, whatever you want to say, to then define, oh no, he is. We'll try to, keep an eye on him or give him some medication, see if it tones down or not. but no one reports nothing. A person could get a hands on anything and do what the fuck happened here.
Well, again, like I was saying, though, if the government put more effort into teaching people how to live, like not just the Pythagorean theorem, you know what I'm saying? If you taught people how to get mental health help, if you taught people how to manage their money in school, things to help you then maybe you won't have all these instances of, you know, children coming into schools and shooting people, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're better educated and you're better equipped to support yourself, then maybe you won't be like, oh, well, I guess if I can't live, you know, correctly, then I'll kill everyone else around me and then myself.
Here's the deal. This guy, this piece of shit lived a shitty life. Well, maybe, who knows? He's now a piece of shit, but
no longer.
His mom was on drugs. Okay. There was no male figures. So he had a broken background, if you want to call it that. Mm-hmm. I'm not defending him, but I am saying that how is one aware, oh shit, I'm going off the rockers? You know what I mean? You can't.
That's how all
you have. Someone else has to see you and say, I think there's something off, and bring you in and say, hey,
could have been grandma's fault. For all we know, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, he lived in the house, and I assumed that they would speak. So, if you want to blame, besides the person, like, the next person to blame would be the people closest to him.
Well,
I'm not gonna try to say that because I'm not gonna be in that situation.
That's their situation, and they can resolve it however they want. But the government, now we're going to what everybody is talking about, which we kind of hinted at. Mm-hmm. Because it is a election midterm ding, they're trying to find anything they can to have people on their side. Biden's numbers are down.
They're talking about this last week.
Yeah, everyone said shit to the Democrats. So again, we now go from, oh fuck, the abortion thing didn't work out, and the LGBT thing, no one's turning to our sides. Like, our numbers are still looking bad. Oh, this shooting happened. Oh, gun laws, and guns. You know, if we get rid of these weapons and all this and that. I just gave you some examples. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's pretty fucking simple. I think there's a solution. I heard it again from Ben Shapiro. I think he had a point. But if you have one entrance and one exit, and you make all the doors to a point where you either have a code, but you walk in and it closes right behind you, and windows, you make them small where no one can get in, wouldn't that be the way to go? I mean, we're funding money to Ukraine. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a bad cause, but you're already fucking people over in this country. Might as well just put it into the school so our kids don't get killed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If a teacher says, well, I'm going to go through the side gate. Fuck, dude, high school. You had the main entrance, right? Remember high school?
Yeah.
You go in through the office if the gates were closed. If they were. If not, you would sneak in through that little gate by the drive where the teachers parked. Remember?
No.
Anyways.
I never parked over there.
Well, I know, but I'm trying to get at. Or lunchtime, you know, if we wanted to ditch, we would go out through the parking lot, the student parking lot, and you know the main gate was open to that parking lot, and we would have dipped out if we wanted to.
Right.
So these are gates and doors that are open. Not all the time, but if someone keeps an eye on things, I'm pretty sure the bus one, remember the bus one?
Oh, yeah.
That one was open at times, I think, even before school fucking was done. Yeah. Before the last bell. But if you make a system where only one door is to go in, one door is to go out, I think that would make it a lot easier. Close up everything else. Well, if a teacher says, well, I want to go through the side gate, no, that's not going to happen. Go in through the front, get your shit from your car, come back in, type in the code, go back to your classroom.
Yeah.
I mean,
there are several other entrances and exits, and they need to watch that. But this is another thing I'm going to say. That's a security thing as well. What do you think about arming teachers? Because there's two arguments here. The first one is, if you arm teachers and they're obviously not trying to kill their own kids that they're teaching, then you will have it, like a school shooter will think twice about coming to school because now they're aware that there's like dozens of people that have weapon training and will kill you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, why should it be the teacher's job that's getting paid $30,000, maybe $40,000 a year to have to shoot a weapon.
The whole teacher thing is the most confusing fucking thing because people don't know what they really want from a teacher. A teacher's job is to just teach.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So here's the deal. You don't want teachers teaching sexual orientation to your kids. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
You don't want them to kind of see them as their kids.
Right.
Right? But yet you want them to defend your kids. And you know what I mean? Like, there's so many, like, what do you really want? Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's like you can't...
We understand you want to teach your kid math and English, teach my kid math and English and social studies and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But don't teach him about sexual orientation. But have a gun ready.
Yeah, don't teach them about the things that I don't want them to learn.
And expect the same pay you're getting.
Yeah, and like basically it's like teachers arguably have one of the hardest jobs in the country.
Yeah, they're taking care of your fucking
piece
of shit.
They're babysitters, they're teachers, they're protectors, they're all this shit. And if you go, to almost any other job in the country, there's not that many requirements for that. Like you're a truck driver, right?
Yeah.
You're not expected to, hold a gun and do all this other shit and teach people. Your job was to drive the truck.
Yeah, get
right?
The load A to B.
Yeah, like I work remote. My job is to troubleshoot.
Masturbate in front of the computer.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, but my job is to just fix people's shit so that way they can keep driving those trucks.
Yeah.
Right, like remotely, and I'm not expected to train people. I'm not expected to do all this shit. I'm not supposed to have a gun. But teachers are at a place for 8 hours a day or more, grading papers, teaching, protecting, doing all this shit, tiptoeing around parents' like ideals and what's the word? Opinions and all that shit, and trying not to like piss them off because then the teachers or the parents can get them fired.
Right.
And they're getting paid one of the least like career wise, they're like the lowest paid careers in the country. So it's like, bro, like if you're gonna if this is a literal war zone, I don't want to be getting paid scraps. If I was a teacher and I had to hold a gun and realize that there's a definite possibility of this school getting shot up in the next 5 years or so, I'm gonna want to get paid like $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 a year. Wow. I want to get paid like I'm a fucking
I don't know about that.
Soldier, bro. Like soldiers don't even have to teach shit.
So the chances of that these type of school shootings is very rare.
Well, I know it's not. It's one school shooting a day on average in the last 10 years, or no, not 10 years. What is it like 5 years or something?
Hold on.
It's like an average of that, or one shooting a day. I won't say a school shooting. One shooting a day.
Oh yeah, shooting a day, yeah.
But I mean like multiple shooting, not just one person getting shot. I'm talking about like a mass shooting situation. It's like one a day. It doesn't always happen at schools, but it's pretty fucking often. It's like I remember was it 2019 or something? It was like
Here's
one school shooting every fucking 2 weeks, dude. That's what it seemed like. It was a lot.
Why don't they bring out any other fucking shooting? The
what do you
media
mean?
and the news and the government. Why are they always just targeting the big AK ones?
The ones that obviously some Well, I mean, here's the thing though. Like if it's breaking news and a lot of news outlets are covering it, it's not just the government trying to cover something up. It's actually happening. It's not like someone was tipped off, right? That type of shit happened within an hour, and then everyone knows.
So that puts the odds of you dying in a school shooting in any given year are at 1 in 1,575,000.
1 in 1,575,000.
Yeah, have you done
575,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
1,575,000.
So the odds of you getting shot and dying at school is one.
Here's a better one.
Okay.
So the annual odds that an American child will die in a mass shooting at school are nearly 10 million to 1. Well. Or 1 to 10 million? I don't know how raised.
Well, that's I don't think that's fair because you're gonna because so there's about 350 million American civilians or American citizens, and I guess you would have to say out of the amount of students that are currently enrolled in school, and then you take the amount of people that die in school from mass shootings. And then you like divide it, then you'd have to get that number. So it'd be like if there's 6 mass shootings in schools a year,
so
and only 50 people died. I think the odds, it's whatever that to whatever that.
I think the odds are I kind of get it. Those odds are pretty low, but at the same time, we are seeing more of this. Almost a year to every 2 years.
A mass shooting?
No.
It's like every month,
like the school shootings.
The school shootings.
Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking school shootings.
Specifically school shootings. It still
shootings are happening all the fucking time.
No, I know.
Chicago, fucking. Yeah. You hear about it. They still got gangs and shit out there.
Well, so in California.
But they keep bringing in all these like, oh, we must do gun laws, and we have gun laws here. It's like, I think the governor of Illinois was like, oh, yeah, we got our shit controlled. I'm like, you have like the highest gun fucking shit going on.
Gun violence.
Gang violence is like so huge in Chicago. So don't be saying like, we must get rid of guns and this. And like, no, bitch. Look at your state.
Yeah.
But.
So I was actually watching this video. I know we got to wrap it up. I was watching this video of Sweden. And Sweden, I'm not sure if you like read about Swedish history or anything like that.
No.
But Sweden is arguably the best militarized state or country in the world, like easily. They have pretty old like barricades surrounding the country, underground tunnels, a bunch of shit. It's like. Basically, if they were to get invaded, they could definitely handle whoever's invading.
They got it figured out.
Yeah, and I think it's every single gun owner. I'm not sure about every single citizen, but every single gun owner goes through a training program for like months to like tactically prepare them for an inevitable invasion, and their like gun violence is basically negative. Like they the last time they had a shooting was
this?
Like
Where was this?
Sweden. The last time they had a shooting was like 2004.
You know, I don't remember. I know we really need to wrap this up, but
yeah.
I think it was one of those like Conan goes to the Netherlands or Sweden. I remember it's one of those episodes where Conan O'Brien goes to some place, and it was somewhere over there. And they said, oh, yeah, everybody has a gun. And he goes, what if this, like, something about, like, would this ever happen? And he goes, no, because everybody knows how to use a gun out here.
Yeah, and that's the last point I was going to make, actually, before I wrap this up, was, what if everyone in the United States had a gun and was tactically trained? Would we be like Sweden? Because then, if you decided to go anywhere and say, I want to shoot someone, everyone else would be like, target practice. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it comes down to you gotta either be. A gun is not something to play with. It's something you need to respect and learn how to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's for defense.
I got told how to, you know what I mean? You don't fuck with a gun. You kind of, remember what you have in your hand and how deadly it can be.
Treat it like it's a wild animal.
Yeah, pretty much.
You don't want to.
So that's kind of what it comes down to. So if there was like some kind of way where, I'm not going to say like a driver's license type of deal, but if you can prove to whoever the dealer is that you know what you're doing and you're aware that this is a weapon and your plan is not to be insane, you know what I mean? I don't know. But
I honestly,
does that make sense?
This is what I'm going to say.
Find the words
to wrap it up is what I'm going to say is
he's gay. Everybody,
there's a closet right there. I'm just joking. What I'm going to say is I think that we would be a much safer country if everyone had a gun. Yeah, like everyone who's like 18 years old had a gun and knew how to use it.
Here's the deal.
Personally, that's what I think because I'm looking at like statistics, and it's basically either your country has no guns like England, or the entire country has guns, and there's still a shitload of violence in England, but there's like none in Sweden.
Yeah.
So I'm like, It sounds like not Arizona, United States is in between those two, but we have the most violence in like almost the world. It seems like gun violence wise.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Chicago.
Yeah, like shootings and shit. I think we have like the most violence. I think that we need to choose a side, and the United States is not going to say take away our guns, so we should go to Sweden. That's all I'm going to say. That's how I'm going to wrap up this show.
All right. Well,
so it's a long show today.
I know. We should have gotten rid of some other ones earlier. Well, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to say. I mean, I said what I had to say. But have you heard what Biden's been saying about this?
No.
He has this stupid phrase he's been saying for like...
Do it in Biden voice.
Oh, I will. Like, what is this? This ain't hunting deer and cavalier vest.
What?
Every time he brings up this shit with the gun control and fucking get rid of like... What are they doing? Hunting deer. There ain't deer running in the woods in Kevlar vest. It's like, what?
Oh, Kevlar vest.
Yeah, Kevlar vest.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Kevlar vest, Josh. Deer. Kevlar vest.
Why do you need a fully automatic weapon to hunt deer?
Kevlar vest.
All right, that's gonna be our show, everyone.
Yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Remember, we're on Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Like and subscribe. Give us follows.
Instagram, TikTok.
Spread the word. We'll see y'all next week.
Alrighty.
Have a good one, everybody.